fluffy hair everywhere. Good morning. Getting the plug. That was my phone. Yep. And it's somewhere underneath the abyss of the table. Morning. I don't know where my phone went. Yeah, my phone bounced off the presser foot and is somewhere in my room. Good morning. It is raining here in Maryland. It's overcast. It looks like something out of our 80s movies Nightmare. I'm already having one of those days. I got to sleep in like an hour or two, so that's like good for me. I'm not a person that usually gets to sleep in, even though I take medication to fall asleep. I have such control issues that I have a hard time staying asleep for a long period of time. Plus, I'm a light sleeper. So, yeah. So, today I'm going to, I told you guys that I have my next con is on not this, the 7th of July, the weekend, like we have the 4th of July and that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will become that con. And they have an art show. So last year was the first year I entered, and how the art show goes is you can enter any kind of form of art. I entered my bags, and I think I put 3 in, and 2 out of 3 got like auctions. There was auctions going off. The other one didn't get anything, which I was fine with because I didn't. This was my first time doing it. So today I decided not to do any testers bags or whatever. I'm going to enter a bag, an art show that I work on all day. So from the time I get off here to whenever it's done, I'm going to enter that. So I'm trying to do a Star Trek one, but like something that's graceful and elegant. And I'm actually really motivated by Bedhog. Bedhog yesterday or the day before yesterday in Facebook groups showed her House of Dragon bag. It is absolutely gorgeous. I remember seeing this pattern in 2022. I said I was going to get it and I didn't. That happens a lot to me because there's a lot of designers that come out and sometimes I just forget a bag that I really was interested in. As soon as I seen her bag, I automatically had the fabric in my head, the vinyl that I'm going to use, and the hardware I was going to use. So I looked at the pattern last night. Kindle's printing it out right now. It looks really straightforward and it says that a beginner can use it, but when you see the bag looks like, okay, this is an advanced bag. So I was like, I was kind of looking through the directions with a little bit of skepticism, like skeptical. I was like, okay, are you sure? Because this doesn't look like a beginner bag. I don't, it's one of the bags from Sewing by Arts. I do not know the name of it offhand. But if you're an Alchemats and you follow their hardware, you've seen Bedhog's, Amy's bag. Amy makes some of the most beautiful bags I've ever seen. She is a true master at her art. Um, so I'm going to be making that bag today. And then I'll focus on 2 bags tomorrow, one being a tester bag, and then the other one just being a small bag. I think I'm going to make the Mighty Messenger. I have some really cool Star Trek patches, and I'm going to make it a little bit more masculine, so that way this can appeal to people that have more masculine qualities. Yeah, Amy is one of like Amy. If you talk to Amy, myself and Andrea, we are dubbed the Powerpuff Girls. There's we all live really close to each other. We're not that far away from each other. Um, so because of seeing her bag, I got all the fillings, and I was like, I want to make this bag. I made a Sewing by Arts bag twice before. Both time each bag, I'm looking at the end of it like, holy heck, I made this. The designer really does make bags that you don't think you can make. She's really good at that. Good morning, Dalva. Yeah, she does have English. So you have a choice of German, English, or French. So I made an Alice in Wonderland one off of her one that look where it has like an inset, like it looks like a suitcase. If you're really trying to get into that briefcase luggage wear, she Sewing by Arts is your person to go to. Her her patterns look like they're more geared towards like luggage, high end. So I'm going to be making that bag. Kindle's actually printed it out right now. I can hear the printer. And I also am going to put up my printing. I bought it's not a cage, it's a shelving theme for my printing. My sublimation printer came in and I'm going to get that all set up. I already have like tons of ideas of what I'm going to sublimate for just this event alone. And I'm really excited about this because more and more fandom fabric groups are closing down, and I want to be able to still do what I do best, make geeky bags that look chic for the people that are like me that like, fandom and luxury at the same time, or undercover geekiness. So I want to start doing that. So I have my printers already. I bought a lot of tools with the earnings that I got from AwesomeCon. I hit way beyond my budget. This is my best show to date. And the first thing I always do is pay myself, and then definitely do things further around the house. Kindle got an awesome grill for Father's Day, like a really awesome one that I cannot wait for him to use. But ironically enough, when I get it for him, this is like when the week where it's raining nonstop. We went like 6 weeks without rain. So I'm not complaining. We needed the rain. I am really excited about the sublimation. Good morning, Maria. I'm really, really excited about it because I've been studying up. I talked to another YouTuber who was really sweet, and she gave me some advice. She helped me pick out why to pick out my sublimation printer. She was actually at AwesomeCon, and I was telling her that I was thinking about converting like an Epson printer, and she was like, red flag, don't. She's like, as soon as you put sublimation ink into a non-sublimation printer, you void the warranty. And if you know me, I'm all about the warranty. You heard me tell you to get this. If you're going to get a heat press, get it through Walmart or a t-shirt place because they have warranties. I have a home warranty on my house, not my homeowner's insurance, but a home warranty, whereas like our knob came off of our stove that we bought 2 years ago, and we paid a co-payment for a guy to come out to repair it because he couldn't repair it, and because not having these knobs can be a health hazard. If someone accidentally moves one and they can't remove it back, it could be a gas leak. We got a brand new stove that is a little bit better than the one that we had before. Still our double oven, all that stuff. It's just interesting because our broiler was on the top oven and now it's on the bottom. It's super interesting, but I believe in warranties. I will pay the insurance. I pay for insurances when I do conventions because you never know. I'm that person. If I do buy a brand new car and I'm paying payments, I buy the gap insurance in case someone hits me and my car depreciation value is less than my loan. The gap insurance fills in the rest, so I'm not sitting here making payments without a car. So I believe in warranties. And if you're going to try to ask like where I got stuff, I'm going to give you to a place that has warranties. I'm not going to tell you to convert something into something else to make it a sublimation printer, because then you're going to void the warranty and you're going to wind up buying another one, which could have been the same cost as actually buying a printer that prints for sublimation. That's just me. I like warranties. You guys hear me say it all the time. Sublimation. Okay, so it is like art. It's ink that goes into. Okay, this is HTV. My friend Christina made me this one. Says, "Let's get ready," because I like Star Wars and I like Harry Potter. This is HTV. You can kind of feel it. Sublimation it goes into like the fiber of the materials, and originally you're only supposed to use it like on polyester base. But recently all these people have been coming out with hacks that you can do it on cotton, pretty much anything. I also been really into the puffy paints right now. So I've been getting a couple of puffy paints to cut out with my Cameo to put on my bags. Like I made some soots that were puffy paints, and I had like the little stars. It was super cute. I was super cute. So I want to explore. I want to make my bag making even more. Like I've said numerous times, the moment that I want to stop and not keep pushing myself further to learn more is the moment that I know I need to stop, period. Because that's the whole point of our crafting journey. It doesn't end. There's always something new for us to learn. Which printer? I got the Sawgrass, Sawgrass 500. It's over there in the box. I was looking for it. I know. I did too. I was procrastinating because I didn't want to there's a lot of money that goes into it at first. And you need to make sure you do have a heat press. I mean, you can do things with an ironing. It's just that steady pressure and the sublimation paper, the masking tape. There's so many little small components that go into it. Luckily, I had a few things and then I just added to it. The sublimation printer was the hardest one for me to pick out. I do implore you to look at different video tutorials, different box openings, different vlogs. Go to like, Heat Press Nation, Heat Transfer Nation, like all these different places and look at the videos they have. What do they offer you for purchasing with them? I went through Press Nation. I bought it, no affiliate links whatsoever. I want from them because they have like a library of schools. Plus, you have them. You can call them if you have any issues. And then I was reading on a couple of Reddit things that like somebody had where the yellow ink got clogged and it drained all the ink. They helped them out and they realized what happened. They sent them the ink. The ink for this printer is ridiculously expensive, but the way they balance it out is kind of like, remember how we do ShapeFlex 101 compared to like SoFuse, by the square inch, you will wind up paying like 2 cents per printing or whatever. And I don't know, I just feel like it is the printing, the ink is expensive, but the print, compared to almost every other sublimation printer out there, is more vivid in color. So that was a personal preference of mine. I know Epson does have a sublimation printer that you can get too. It's supposedly a unicorn because it came out during 2020. And we all know in 2020 and 2021, we all got into crafting a little bit more. More people became in our craft world. So it became a unicorn because it was getting bought out. But now there are more of them and I hear really great things about them as well. They're like the Epson and the Sawgrass 500 are like the entry level for like home crafters are just beginning starting a business. But look up videos, Google how to start a sublimation business. I know you're not going to do that, but it will give you the most insight of what you can and cannot do with a printer because there's not a lot of I'm starting a sublimation. I got a sublimation to make bags. You're going to be at a loss on YouTube on that. There's no videos. So Google, what can I do to start a sublimation printer business, and you'll get more information. Oh yeah, I combed it out. I haven't even finished combing it out yet. I'm gonna do like a deep oil conditioning tomorrow, so I have to comb it out. It's everywhere. Yeah, see? There you go. So you have someone in here saying what they have. And there's people like when I was talking to somebody else about sublimation, they say Brittany from Emporium, she does sublimation too. It's not something new in the world, in our bag making world. There's just not a lot of people that do it. So I think it's something that to think of if you are looking for certain designs, like let's say you're looking for fairy lights or bunnies or whatever, and you're not finding the fabrics that you want, you can sublimate it on it. I've seen people sublimate on waterproof canvas. I've seen people sublimate on cotton. I've seen them do it on duck cloth. There's a lot of ways you can do it, and there's different ways you can sublimate. At first, they tell you that you can't sublimate anything except polyester, but over the last 2 years, people have been showing you tricks and tips with like powders and all this other stuff where you can sublimate on cotton. Oh, okay. I have the Sawgrass 500. I seen the 800. It was they had a refurbished one for a great price too. I just felt I literally was like, "Oh, we'll be there in the morning." Nope. It wasn't. Sometimes schools have them if you're looking for a refurbished one. Sometimes when schools are expanding and they get newer models, they sell the models that they have for cheap. Like that's why I was saying short feed projectors. If you're looking for projectors, look at a school that has projectors and they're like re-upping their school. You'll be surprised what you're able to get for very, very, very low costs. Yeah. You could want the bigger printer, but for me, I'm not planning on sublimating a whole bag. It's usually a panel. And so a panel, thank you. That's all. I told you this one is like a million pages.
No, it's the printer's saying the memory is full, so I'm trying to
Figure
that out real quick.
Before I take a baseball bat. This is the one I'm doing today. Yeah, I had I was listening. There's an issue with our laser printer. I wanted another printer. So, yeah, I think it depends on the people. Most of the people that I see, even in the Sawgrass YouTube group, it's mostly tumblers. So I feel like if you're going to do tumblers, then go for the one up. But if you're doing like I'm doing, like, oh, I want to have something on my main panel, I can print 8x5 per anything, especially if you buy the attachment that you can do like 8x5 by 50 inches for like the roll. I personally don't think I'm going to be sublimating all over the bag. And if I do, it's probably going to be like hints of things that are like really small. I think that's where I think a lot of people are not opening their horizons to. Like, if you get cork scraps, or like you'll get something like this is a perfect example. I'm going to use this black fabric. This is not all of the black fabric. So I could probably get away with doing 2 prints of 8x5 and I'll be fine to have it on top. I use pops of colors, pops of corks, pops of leather. And that's exactly how I'm going to do on Sawgrass, with my Sawgrass. And also I'm not planning on making t-shirts except for my Patreon people. So they know that I do t-shirts once a year. I'm already trying to get my 2024 t-shirts ready so that way they can have it. And I think I found a really cool t-shirt source that you can choose either a crew neck or a v-neck. So I'm excited about that. I'm not doing a t-shirt business. I occasionally do t-shirts when I had my other one for just when I had my other heat press, just for like random people asking me, but that's not, I would be miserable. I get hot real fast, and being in front of a heat press is not my favorite thing to do. So, but yeah, so the size, I guess it doesn't really matter. If in a few years I think I need to grow out of it, then by all means it happens. I got my money's worth and I got my experience. But I do believe if you want and can afford the bigger like hoop, like the embroidery hoop, they always tell you to get the biggest hoop you can, then go for it. If you can't, don't feel bad, get it and go for it, because people with 4x4 make magic just as much as someone with 11x18. Oh, it's okay. Mickey says good morning, Kendall. He says good morning. Yeah, he's about to make the coffee so because the stuff was from the stove and Faith hasn't been feeling so well, I haven't asked anyone to make coffee. And I think I'm having coffee withdrawals. And it's not even caffeine, because I drink caffeine throughout the day. I literally am, what wakes me up in the morning and gets my day started is drinking a cup of coffee. It's just, I don't know. It's like, I know before I go to bed at night, I'll drink like almost like 2 of these in water. Like if I don't, I can't go to sleep right. It's just a part of my routine. Good morning, Christine. So yes, that I have a really cool Star Trek idea for this. I have some really cool Oxford cotton, or yeah, Oxford has like a waterproof thing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have it with certain colors. I just need to pick out the color scheme and I will be fine. Ooh, oh yeah. See, you and me both. I like, I was trying to do a short video on my heat press to show how it automatically does it. And you have to understand, out of every tool I've ever owned right now, I am fangirling so hard over this heat press. because I could walk away. I know that sounds simple. If you have squirrel symptoms, if you're like, oh yeah, did it a squirrel. If you have that issue, because I do, I will be I'll be looking at something, saying I'm going to do something else, and I veer off to something else. You see smoke on your press because you decided to not pay attention to the time. This is pretty perfect because not only does it beep when it's done, but it rises up, kind of like the Oslo things, and so your stuff is not burning. And for me, that is like yay, because I'm always I have ADD, ADHD, okay? I don't know what you want from me, but my attention when it comes down to stuff like that is lacking. That's why I kind of think I like ironing because I'm in constant motion. So therefore, I don't have an issue with like something burning. I don't leave the iron on something that's not supposed to because I'm in constant motion. But when it comes down to heat presses, I will walk away. And that's why I tell people again, I encourage you if you're going to look for a heat press, you may not want to look at a YouTuber that has a bag making or sewing business. There's a reason why. Because most heat presses, if you're trying to get one that has a warranty, which you should, you want to go to people that press t-shirts or people that make tumbler cups, or like they can explain 8-in-1, full pull-out drawers, auto release where it automatically releases so when you're done with the time. So if you're not there, do you want a large depth in the back? Because there's some heat presses that like are meant for thicker materials. And the way I found that out was actually a quilter who presses who presses her whole entire blanket with a heat press. It was pretty cool. But her heat press had like this big curve. It's set on a C, so that way she was able to stuff a lot of stuff back there without it getting wrinkly and crinkled. There's things that heat press people can tell you that a YouTuber that does fabric can't. And I highly recommend you not to get your heat press from Amazon. If you want to get it online, again, get it from somewhere like Walmart where you can add on insurance for 3 years. And if something goes wrong with your heat press, you just call them up, have your receipt, and they will send you another one or give you a gift card to get another one for the same value you purchased it at. So I bought mine at Amazon, the 16 by 20, and I told you guys, after a year, I had cold spots in the middle and like unbelievably burning spots on the sides. I did the thermometer thing, and it's just been kind of being a wait. I recalibrated, I did everything. And the only thing I learned a valuable mistake: do not buy tools that you cannot replace easily financially through Amazon, because Amazon return policy has changed so much since 2020. It used to be like almost 6 months you had to return. They reduced it down kind of sneakily during 2020 to 90 days. And now it's like some places are 30 days and some places are 60 days. So go to a place that has a really good return policy or has a really good warranty where if something goes wrong, you're not out of pocket. Because I'm not made out of money. I can't replace something off a drop of a dime. So warranties are very important to me. I know I haven't looked at the detachable flaps. I think it's a cool concept. I've never had anyone ask me, can I, remove it? I keep laughing at that name. But I've looked at it, but I haven't done it yet. You'll be surprised. Like I have a Google list that has like over 75 bags that people either want me to look at, do a video for, or review. And there's so many bags out there. It takes a lot for me to buy a pattern. Because the way my head works is that I try to see if I can do a modification to make it look like that, or also buying a pattern and taking the time to really study it. Like my husband's printing this out now, but last night while I was watching the strain, I was reading through all the notes, and then I would hop onto the Facebook group to see if anyone had any issues. And then I wrote down notes on what I think I can make better or what I need to really pay attention to, so that way when I get to that part, it'll be okay. I can't just sit down with the pattern and just start sewing. And I think that's why I like testing so much, because I know there has to be people like me that review the pattern and then have legitimate concerns. And I think that's when I can make a video and it like help with those concerns. Jessica has really, really good patterns, solid patterns. Yeah, Jessica has like solid patterns. I love the fact that she does everything in cork, because we all know my obsession with cork. And I like how all of her bags to me are not only domestic friendly, but they're um, industrial friendly as well. So I like people that can have like a nice in between where it's not one or the other; it's both. This pattern is from Sewing Arts. Yeah, Sewing Arts Handmade. It says it's beginner friendly. When I kept looking at it, I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Do you have a different standard of beginning than I do? It has like a lot of cool features. So they have snaps right here. I'm going to probably use 24 line snaps, not magnet snaps. I love magnet snaps on the side, but if the magnets get close to a heat resource, like let's say somebody's cooking and they just drop their purse and that heat is radiating off the oven and hits it, it demagnetizes the magnets. And once that happens, there's nothing you can do about it. So I have a tendency when I'm making bags that I know I'm going to try to make more high end, I will use the 24 line snaps. So it has a 24 line snaps. It does not have an area for crossbody. So immediately what I'm going to do is I'm going to put buckles in the inside, or like rings on the inside of the bag, similar to what we did. Me and the group did something similar on one of our bags, or when we made the our version of the jet setter with the Annette, we put rings on the inside of our bag so that you could flip up and then have it as a crossbody. So I think I'm going to make that as a modification, because as much as I love having shoulder bags, everyone always asks me for adjustable strap. So I'm just going to make one and put it in the bag. And this is both on the front and the back because that's how they hold the handles, which is really cool. I'm going to see how she reinforces it, if I need to put any rivets or whatever. So I'm really excited to make this bag. It doesn't have a lot of components to it. It's because the details in the front are so striking. I think it looks like it's harder than it is. So with that being said, I believe you really need to take your time when you're making this bag, when you're cutting out that pattern piece. That is a very distinctive pattern piece. So you got to get your scalpel out, Sandra. That's for you. Get your scalpel out, or a really small rotary blade and have it at it. Or you can, if you have a Brother Scan and Cut, you can scan it into your machine and cut it. If you have a Cameo, you could probably upload the pattern piece and then just like merge it together. They're snaps. They're the metal snaps, like that you see on wallets. They're just the metal ones. They're not magnet at all. They're just, I don't have it one right here. They're think of it as like a cam snap. It's sewing. My phone dropped in the beginning. You weren't here. I don't know where my phone is. It's somewhere on the floor. So it's Sewing Arts Handmade, and you should be able to, if you put it in like a 24 line spring snap. Yeah. So there's actually a 24 line snap and a 24 line spring snap, but I think all of my dies are for a spring snap. So I usually put those in because I have the thing with magnets demagnetizing. I seriously don't know where my phone is. I've been like glancing down, and it doesn't help that the case is rose gold. Yeah. Yeah, so I usually put those in on bags that I'm doing. I reached out to a couple people for some other small patterns, because my goal for the summer is to do small, not in your face patterns, so that way you can, if you want to do it, you can. If you can't do it right now, you can earmark it for another date. So I've reached out for some other people, and I'm hoping to hear back from them today or sometime next week during the work week. So continue with the small, because people really like I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from the video yesterday. I actually like things like that. That's the jelly, just like you don't need a pattern, is one of the things that I've been recently putting into my bags as a thank you gift. One, because it's fast. Two, people are enamored with the texture of the jelly. So it's just a very fast project to make, and it's helpful because it's see-through. So if you're going through, if they put it on their carry-on or whatever, it's see-through. They could put all their toiletry in there, and like the TA, so all the security things can see what's inside the toiletry bag as well. So it's pretty cool. No, I don't know how to remagnetize a magnet, to be honest with you. I just know that I accidentally have ironed over one and it demagnetized. And then I accidentally went to press a flap that had one and it demagnetized. I don't know how to remagnetize them. Oh, that's good, Christine. I hope everyone likes your bag. I need to take pictures of mine. She's been around for a while. She's been around 2018, 2019. She is a German designer. She does have a Facebook group. So if you put sewing arts by Handmade, it should pop up. I seriously don't know if I had my phone. I would put the link in here for you. What our phone is. Good morning. Okay, well, that's good to know because how I found out it was demagnetized when I was trying to put it into the magnetized like female portion, it wouldn't do it. So I let it stay overnight and I put a weight on it and it was still demagnetized. So I had to wind up taking everything out. Yes, I think so. I'm so sorry. I literally dropped my phone and I can if I knew where my phone was, I would get the link. Um yeah, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's a bag that I'm going to be making. She has there's a lot of people that did videos on it. You have Love Lola, I think Kasaya made one. There's a lot of people that made videos on this. I believe Branding from Brandy has made one too. So yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I didn't have, if I had my phone I would have put it on there like I usually do. I just dropped it and I can't locate my phone. That's about right though, right? So yeah, that's the bag. As soon as I get off here, down some coffee, and I'm gonna start cutting things out. It doesn't have a lot of components. I mean, it's a nice size pattern. I mean, hold on. No, that's another pattern I'm doing in there too. Hold on. It's not so many pages. It doesn't look really complicated. So I'm really excited about it. So hold on. I think I'm like totally missing all the pattern pieces on this. I have to talk to Kindle. Yeah, because the pattern pieces are not in there and I can't find my phone, so them's are the breaks. Okay. Yeah, so the pattern's only like 28 pages, so it's not too big of a book. Yes, I did make the primrose. No, I made that mini Rosie wallet. Who's the Primrose Rabbi again? I make a lot of bags and I try to remember all their names. I promise. And if I had my phone, I can go into Google Studio to see what bags I made. But because, yeah. I don't know. I've made 2 patterns from her, and there's a third one that I want to work on that has like this little strap thing that she gave me the A-OK to make. I'm not too sure. Yeah, so I plan on I have a long list of patterns I'm supposed to be making. A really long list. But I think this month, it's all going to be really focused on hyper short projects, kind of like just giving you a palette cleanser, or like if you need your sojo back, or if you want to just sew something really quick and have some gratification that the project's done, you know. So there's a couple of different ones, and but like I think like I told you yesterday, the one this Friday is coming out. It's going to be from Salty Sews. The pattern costs under $3, and it's really cute. And I think if you go on a lot of retreats, and it's a good place to put all your clips in. So that's what we're doing. Alrighty, I'm gonna go start getting coffee, figure out this printing thing with Kindle, and possibly find my phone. What I'll do is, as soon as I get my phone, in the description box, I will put a link to the Sewing Arts as soon as I find my phone. And there's no affiliate link. I just think that her patterns are really, really nice. Yeah, it's the one with the handles. Yeah, I do. I got the AOK to make that one. I don't think I have made that one yet. I don't think so. So, I hope everyone has a really good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.